What's up, guys? Grantley16 here once again, playing. What's up, guys? Grantley16 here once again, playing Clash Royale. Welcome to my part 1 of my 18-part series discussing tips and tricks on all the cards in the Clash Royale game. There are currently 71 cards, about to be 72 when the heal spell comes out. And I'm going to do a little bit of information on each one of those cards, how to use them, and a little bit of video to go with it. So I hope I can help you guys out a whole lot. If you guys want to see more, just leave a comment and tell me which card you want to see more of, and we'll go into a more in-depth video on each one. But right now, we're going to be doing 4 cards per video and just doing a few tips and tricks for each card in the game. So I hope you guys enjoy it. First up, Barbarians. An extremely effective card in the game. Good on defense or offense. You can actually split them up in order to provide both an attack and a defense on either side. They are extremely effective against almost anything, but they are vulnerable to fireball, rocket, anything that does extreme splash damage. You can see right here I'm actually splitting them, one for attacking the other side, one for defending. Again, like I said, weak to spells like poison, fireball. In a situation like this where you have a splash damage troop that could take out barbarians, you need to wait until it focuses on the tower, then take out the splash damage troop. And or you could also use them as support troops. They are extremely effective attackers. If they get on the tower, they will take it completely out. They are extremely effective at doing a lot of DPS. They can be taken out quite easily, though, so you have to be very, very careful. As you can see here, they are splitting 2 ways, 2 to go to the Electro Wizard. They can also stop building rush units very effectively, such as the Battle Ram and Hog Rider. They are really good at taking out large units as well, such as Giant Skeleton, Golem, P.E.K.K.A., stuff like that. They take it out almost immediately and offer an offensive attack. Units such as Skeleton Horde are also vulnerable. I mean, they're a pretty close matchup, but Barbarians take a Skeleton Horde out most of the time. Situations like this, Rocket takes them out, Fireball almost takes them out. If you do have a fireball and somebody's using them against you, go ahead and take them out. Next up is the Hog Rider, an extremely effective building killer. It's super fast, does a whole lot of damage, and generally you want to release it when the enemy doesn't have a lot of defense or a lot of defensive units. Also, you want to release it right at the bridge so you can avoid any preparation by the enemy. Like this, if the enemy has an Inferno Tower or any kind of defense, you obviously want to deploy on the side that there is no defense. Unless you specifically want to take out that defense, the Inferno Tower will kill the Hog Rider on a one-on-one though. As far as like a bomb tower or something like that, you'll have a little bit better chance, but I think the bomb tower will still take it out. You will be able to take out tombstones, cannons, and Teslas also. But the Hog Rider is super effective at taking out buildings and stuff. Usually, even with heavy defense, it still gets at least a hit in most of the time. The best situation is to put a buffer in front of the Hog Rider in order to allow it to get more hits in, just in case they decide to over-defend on it. So you need to, anything you got, Barbarians, Knight, Ice Golem, anything in front of that Hog Rider, make sure that you get it behind it
and get it in there as quickly as you can. Also, the hog will jump over the river, so you could take advantage of that in certain situations. Like if a defense or a building is put kind of halfway, he will jump over the river to get to it. So you do not have to follow the bridge. Just let him jump over the river. He'll take it out. And also, you got to be prepared. Use a zap or have it on standby when you go to push with a hog. 90% of the time, people are going to use skeleton army, goblin gang goblins, something really small that does a lot of damage to take it out quickly. So have a zap on standby and you'll always get damage in. Just go ahead and hover that zap when you release the hog rider and you'll be fine. And don't forget, use spells with the hog rider. Take advantage of using all the cards at your disposal. The hog is best used, if you're going to throw it in naked, to wait until they use a high elixir card, then throw it out opposite lane, or if they're coming with a push, throw it out opposite lane, and you'll usually do a lot of damage. Next up, the Ice Golem. Known to most of the new players as one of the most useless cards in the game, it isn't so useless after all. It mainly uses the tower's defense, and you can actually pull your enemies across the map if placed on the proper tile. So any enemy you see can actually be pulled across. If it's placed on the opposite lane, it'll just continue to go toward the enemy tower, and thus pulling any oncoming enemies toward it. If you place it wrong, of course, it will continue down the same lane as you put it on, so you're going to need to put it just to the left of the center tile and just to the right of the center tile in order to pull an enemy. It's mainly, like I said, it utilizes the towers for defense, so you're going to need to only release it on your side. You can use it in a push if you need to, but it's mainly going to be on your side of the map. You're just going to use it as a distraction unit, and it's going to absorb a lot of damage as well as freeze as soon as it dies. So your tower should be able to take out most things, and almost 100% of the time it gives you an elixir advantage when you use it. Like here, right here, it's the tower took out a 5 elixir executioner just by throwing the Ice Golem out so it wouldn't hit the tower. Also, it can take out minions. If you have already zapped minions, when the minions kill it, the explosion from the Ice Golem will kill the minions. So it can also be used kind of as an air defense against really, really weakened air units. Also, if you wanted to do a push with it, you could. You just have to throw it out. Most of the time, if you're doing a push with it, it's placed in the very back so that you can build up and decide what you're going to put behind it. Also, it'll take out the skeleton army, one of the most elixir advantageous cards in the game. Speaking of skeleton army, if you've ever played a match of Clash Royale, you know exactly what this card is. It's one of the most commonly used cards in the game. It usually gains an elixir advantage on whatever you use it on, and it's extremely effective at taking out probably 90% of cards, excluding the splash damage cards. It can take out, it does so much DPS, I think it does the third most DPS in the game, damage per second that is, and it's extremely effective at taking out large units, small units, large groups of units, anything. The only bad thing about it is it's extremely vulnerable to spells and other things like that. Like I just showed you, the Ice Golem will take it out. All you got to do is, if it's leveled properly, all you got to do is release the Ice Golem and it will take it out. Also, it's weak to the log arrows, almost, well, really every spell. It's weak to everything, but it does so much damage if they do not have a spell. it will melt literally anything. It overwhelms anything. It is a very good distraction if you don't get it taken out. Like right here, the tornado actually took it out. The poison just melts it, so do not release it inside a poison if you can avoid it. Last but not least, known as the Tank Melter, is the Inferno Tower, one of the most damage-doing defenses in the game. Its DPS is off the charts after a few seconds. It's best used against big units like the Golem, Giant, Royal, Lava Hound, things like that. The Electro Wizard or Zap or Lightning will make it reset every time they hit it though, so be sure you take those units out before they reach the Inferno Tower if you're trying to kill a large unit. They will melt anything that comes across those, so they're extremely effective, and it's a highly used card. If you place it in the middle, you do have the option to pull enemies from both sides, but if you know for a fact that they're coming to a certain side, you can actually place it on the outside of your towers, what I like to call the outer boundaries, just to the right of your right tower, or just to the left of your left tower, just like this right here. And that way they can't throw minions or an Electro Wizard or something to shoot it across the river, or just come across the river and distract it.
Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed watching part 1 of my 18-part series giving out tips and tricks on each card in the game. There's currently 71 cards in the game and about to be 72, so we're going to do a thorough analysis of each one, giving you a few tips and tricks along the way. If any of you guys would like to see more in-depth videos on a certain card or how to use a certain card, just leave it in the comments and I'll definitely take it into consideration and see if we can't get a little bit more in depth as to how to use certain cards. Anyways guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. See you guys later.